Hello ladies and gents, this is a brand new image of Jurassic World Dominion. This is what is known as the Atrociraptor. Now this isn't something they've made up. I know, massive dinosaur fans will know what this is. But I'm not hugely up to date on, my prehistory. And the Atrociraptor escaped me. I didn't know this was even a thing. This is not a made up dinosaur. They are just pulling out dinosaurs that we're not massively familiar with, and the Atrociraptor is basically a relative of the Velociraptor. The most interesting thing I found was Atrociraptor. The name itself actually means savage robber, which I thought was great. What an epic name. Now, the generic name is derived from the Latin of atrox, savage, and raptor, Caesar. So savage Caesar, or savage robber. How amazing is that? Now, it's estimated its length would be 2 meters and its weight at 15 kilos. So that was the initial estimations, which looks like this would be a hell of a lot bigger than that, quite frankly. But the Atrociraptor differs from the Bambiraptor and other dromaeosaurids in its more isodont dentition. And the teeth have different sizes but the same form and a short, deep snout. Doesn't look like it has a short, deep snout, does it? But never mind. Skull opening, the maxillary fenestra is relatively large and positioned right above another opening, the promaxillary fenestra, condition not known from other species. So the Atrociraptor was by its describers assigned to the Velociraptorinae within a large whatever. Literally cannot pronounce half these words. But it's interesting, they look to have really sized it up. So although it's 2 meters in length, but weighing only, well, an estimated weight of 15 kilos, it doesn't seem right, quite frankly. It doesn't seem right at all that it would only be 15 kilos. That's not that much. This looks like a big monster. Like a fairly large dinosaur. But it's not just that. So obviously, actual dinosaur, but the initial estimations put this not what it's supposed to be in terms of its size and things like that. So that's interesting. I'm sure there'll be people that will sort of correct me on that. But then we also had this. So this is from a piece in Malta, apparently. So director Colin Trevorrow tells Empire magazine the following: "It's a sequence set in Malta, and the picture speaks for itself. Sorry, it's Chris Pratt being chased by an Atrociraptor, and if they catch up, he's going to die. I can tell you that. Where the Velociraptor is a little bit more of a stealth hunter, the Atrociraptors are a bit more brutish. These things will just come at you. And in this particular case, they've picked his scent. And they're not going to stop until he's dead. They're pretty brutal. They're pretty vicious. Which, Atrociraptor, savage. They bloody well should be. You would think that they would be savage. Let's be honest. There's nothing much else really here, to be fair. This article notes that, Jurassic World Dominion is set to introduce several new species of dino. And this latest still, via Empire Mag, gives us a look at the cousin of one of the most lethal creatures to ever stalk the screen, the Atrociraptor. But yeah, they say it's a new breed of Velociraptor. That's not strictly true, I don't think. The Atrociraptor. But I think the annoying part of this is that this isn't. Well, yeah, this isn't real. Like they weren't like that. They were completely different. And here's the full piece, which we'll take a look at, right? So raptors have always been the scariest dinosaurs in the Jurassic movies. They have been, absolutely. And I will say this, look, what a great way to keep that alive. We had Velociraptors in the last one, blue being good and all this kind of stuff. Like, it makes sense to have them back, right? They are very, very popular. Very, very popular. So it does make sense to have them back in some form, be it, a new dinosaur, basically. Clever girls with a knack for opening doors, attacking unsuspecting victims from the side, and causing chaos in the long grass. But in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion, Get ready to fear a new kind. Fear a new kid, sorry. Or a 65 million year old new kid. On the block, Colin Trevorrow's trilogy Closer is set to introduce a new form of raptor, the Atrociraptor, seen in our exclusive image, posing a serious threat to Chris Pratt's Owen Grady. Now, he says the same thing about Malta. Not really any point kind of telling you that. Here's the full picture. Great image. Looks good. Does look good. There is no shadow for the dinosaur, though. There should be a shadow. There isn't one. You can see the shadow for Owen right there. There should be a shadow for the dinosaur. There isn't one. So they've kind of messed up there. And now they say this. If the regular raptors' smarts were the thing that made them so terrifying, their cousins here have an additional boisterousness that makes them a formidable foe. With the velociraptors a little bit more of a stealth hunter, the Atrociraptors are a bit more brutish. These things will just come at you, and in this particular case, they picked up a scent and they're not going to stop until he's dead. That's not all. The film will also introduce Pyroraptors. Interesting. Among a swathe of other new species, and yes, the director does pick favourites. I love the Pyroraptors. I love the Atrociraptors. There's a little one called the Morus Intrepidus, who doesn't do a ton in the movie, but whenever it shows up, I always love it. So that's interesting. Two versions of raptors. Pyroraptors are an interesting addition, I think. Not something I would have expected them to do. Now, again, you know, in terms of its size and things like that, yeah, I mean, about 8 feet and, you know, around 2.5 meters long. So they would end up actually being supposedly longer than the Atrociraptors, but they're going to change all of that, I would imagine. You know, I can't imagine they're going to keep that the same. They're probably going to change all of that, aren't they? But they actually look pretty similar. To be fair, there's not that much of a difference in how they look. There are some images with them looking, yeah, pretty much the same, to be fair, as the Velociraptor. And then you got all the ones where they've popped feathers on them, because that's still open for debate, it seems. So interesting stuff. Like, you know, there you go. Atrociraptors, Pyroraptors. What do you think? Let me know down below. Great image. Just where's the shadow? I want le shadow. You can see all the other shadows, but there's no shadow on the dinosaur, or from the dinosaur, sorry, which is a bit of a shame. But let me know what you think. You're looking forward to this film. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, shit to the bed, but I'm really looking forward to Dominion. So there you go. Let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much. Take care.